Twitch. That was too funny. Too funny. What is up, everybody? Let's see. Let me retweet
So,
this.
so, so, oh, why don't we can talk about this more on the show. See, I was about to ask him stuff that we could talk about on the show. Should not put content.
What?
Huh? Just about to
All
ask him.
right. Hey, everybody.
Nice. Hi, everybody.
All right. Let's put this out on Facebook, on Z Valentine Zcast
What kind of couple are we?
Global.
That's
Oh, you
cool.
know what? Pacific couple. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
All
It's good to
right.
see you. I can't believe you all are watching. We're doing good. Well, we're doing quite well. Superman does good. I do well. Does anybody know what that's from? Probably not. But
Paul,
Yes, sir.
why do I keep thinking this? We never had you on before, right?
No, you had me on earlier this year.
Huh?
You had me on earlier this year.
boom, double guest.
Okay, I thought so. That was
Apparently, Jay was really wanting you on again.
yeah, I thought so. Okay,
I bet you like,
cause I was like, okay, okay, all right. Whew.
why? Because you were like, oh my gosh, we
I was
talked
like,
about
I
all this
feel like
before.
this is deja vu.
It is. We did, but I was like, Jay must really love Paw Fox.
Paul's
Ooh.
awesome, man.
He is. You didn't hear me dispute. I was just saying. So now that we have him on here twice, there's gonna be an uproar. You haven't had me on here once. Chat room uproar. But but yeah, it's cool.
All right, all right, all
Did you
right.
tweet that out? Yes, you
I
did.
did, and I put it on
Let me
Facebook as well.
retweet it.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to go back and listen to the episode. All right, I guess we're all ready. Y'all just waiting on me. That's how it usually is. So, oh, they're still outside. You think they'll be fine? Do they have water?
No.
Oh. Oh. Sam Natrix, you're actually on the list. You don't know that we was making another list today. So we do have a list of people that we're thinking about having on. Um, did you see the trailer for the Grandmaster when you went to go see Pacific Rim?
Um,
Are
no, I
you
didn't
prob-
see that, but if it's the same movie I'm thinking about, that's already come out in Hong Kong.
are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the one. It's the one. It's about from the same director of Ip Man, IP Man.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that came out in February this year.
Really? When you go back? When do you go back, Paul?
Going back on the 28th, I think.
I don't want to wait until January. All right.
I'll hook you up, man.
All right. So let's get started. All right. You ready, babe?
Mm-hmm.
You ready, Paul?
Yep.
Hey, you ready, chat room? Yeah, y'all ready? Cause I have the delay, so I answered for you all.
Coming to you News, Louisville, Kentucky.
It's the ValentineCast with your Pacific couple, Jay and Renee Valentine.
Today is July 15th, 2013.
Can you give me a minute to
Oh,
turn
no,
it
no,
down
no,
a little bit?
No, because there's... No. You get on me for not coming in on time, and you leave it up. This is the first time in 116 episodes.
Yeah, and today's date is July 15th.
What? I already said that.
Oh, and this episode's 116.
Have this on record.
This
Jay
is on
has
record.
messed up a billion times. Okay.
I messed up how
But-
many?
A billion. But we're not but we're not here to talk about your mess ups, which are often. We're here to talk about our wonderful, awesome, transcontinental guest that we have on today. Welcome, Mr. Paul Fox. Hi, Paul.
Hi, guys. Thank you very much for having
What's
me.
going on? And as some of you already know, we had Paul on the show before.
We have. Jay forgot.
I did.
I didn't, but I just thought he wanted Paul on again.
I thought I was going crazy. But I do want to have Paul on again.
So I remember something that Jay
Right.
forgot. Mark this down in your calendars, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
But just a little blurb about Paul. If you've never met Paul or talked to Paul before,
Or if you didn't hear our previous episode,
if you didn't hear previous episodes,
which
then
I apparently forgot,
then-
you must have, Renee
shame on
roofied
you.
me.
yes, I use those on a daily basis. Jay never knows when I appropriately touch him because I always have him roofied.
As long as it's good to me.
Paul is a former resident of the U.S. And you were from Florida, right, Paul?
Yes, that's correct.
Paul moved to Hong Kong in 2000. Were you there for like January 1st, 2000, or was it after?
It was the end of 2000, actually.
I was wanting to know. Maybe he got to see how everybody was falling apart January 1st, 2000.
Oh,
You remember how everybody thought the world was going to end?
that was
I wanted to see what it was like in China. So, why are you laughing at me?
I'm just laughing.
So he moved there to become more immersed in Southern Chinese culture and language. That sounds like something somebody would do to, you know what? Forget this job. I would like to go immerse myself in Southern Chinese culture and language. I'm moving.
That sounds
That's
awesome. Was it?
That's it, yeah.
Oh,
That's
dude, that was freaking awesome, man.
Paul Fox hosts a podcast, which is awesome, called East Screen, West Screen, with his co-host Kevin Ma. And they generally talk about the differences and similarities, right, of East and West cinematic
Yep.
culture, right? Is that right?
Well, yeah.
Kinda.
We actually the podcast just ended last month.
How come you didn't tell me that?
Whoa. I was just sitting here.
Apparently,
I was like,
we don't see. I mean, hey, I never said I listened often because I don't have enough time. But I'm really
What?
sad.
You know what? If I had
understand.
sat down and listened and read the whole title, I would have seen that. Because episode 152, so long and thanks for all the fish balls.
So does that mean that we're bad?
Series finale.
So we're bad podcast hosts?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Podcasting is not about a real-time medium. You
Right.
listen to episodes when you get to them. That's the great thing about podcasts.
Oh
That's
man,
very sad.
dude. So this 4 years.
Yeah, we're just shy of our 4th anniversary, which is in early August. But unfortunately, Kevin had a really great opportunity. Kevin, my co-host,
Right.
Mhm.
Well, don't
to do
spoil
some
it. Don't
professional writing.
No,
and
I was
no,
gonna
you
say,
can
don't-
spoil
I was
it.
gonna say, don't spoil
Professional
it,
writing, like
because-
fiction or nonfiction.
no nonfiction, working for a company that covers film. But because of
Oh,
well, that's
that, it
what
would have
happens
been a bit of a
now.
conflict of interest for him to review film. And since we started the show together, I felt it was appropriate to sort of go out together rather than sort of carry on
Oh,
by myself. So
right.
I'm certainly not done podcasting. There's more stuff that I plan to do through the site.
wow.
Really?
But for now, yeah, that show has come to a close.
So you felt like you couldn't do the show with anybody else but Kevin. You all were
It's
so
kind of that
close.
whole Scott Johnson, Randy quick fire question thing.
Yeah, the quick fire question thing. He hasn't done it with the other Terpster because that's a
Yeah, that was one
Scott and
thing they
Randy.
just scratched off and said,
Yeah.
East Green West Green was a Paul and Kevin thing.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, so are you looking to get into any more different kinds of podcasts, or you just
Yeah, I've got a couple ideas that one of the things I've been doing on this vacation has been, sort of rattling around some ideas in my head about what I want to continue doing with podcasting. And hopefully by the end of the summer, I'll have something,
And,
maybe one or two new things to roll out.
and if you need some
nice?
co-hosts, don't
Oh,
don't don't fret to ask us.
because Jay doesn't have enough podcasting to
Nor
do.
nor does Renee.
I have two. You have two. Can I like? I would like to spend some time with you during the weekdays.
That is true. That's you know. So, okay, so you guys been doing it for 4 years, and how is it a bittersweet, or is it what's that feeling? I mean,
Yeah,
because
well, I mean, it was my baby.
right,
I conceived of it, and I approached Kevin with it because I thought he'd bring a different perspective from my own. I gotten a lot of great feedback from people who've listened over the years, who are kind of sad, and I'm kind of sad that the show has
I'm sad
come to a
too.
close. But all good things. I mean, I was sad when ELR went away,
Oh,
and
I was very sad.
Scott has done a multitude of wonderful podcasts in its wake. So
hmm
it's just one of those things. Life goes on.
so I had to ask, but just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. Did you cry?
I like the little pause he did. I think that's
Okay,
yes, but I don't want to tell anybody.
I would have cried.
If like our podcast had ended,
Yes,
well, what about Go Mad?
maybe. I think so.
Ask me if I want to cry. No.
No, Renee, no, you wouldn't have cried. Don't set me up like that because I know you wouldn't cry. And I'd be like, okay, I guess it leaves me time to read a book.
Okay, see, you misconstrue my answer. I wouldn't have cried, but I would have been very, very sad. Now, Paul, did you cry? It's okay if you
Well, you
cry.
know what? You don't have to ask
Well,
that.
you're the one that asked him.
Well, the pause kind of hit me, so
did
you know what I'm
it
saying?
did it hit you right here?
Yeah, because at
Right
first
here in your
I was
heart?
at first see I thought I would be the one that would I thought I would be the only one that's on this show right now
It
that would
would
shed a tear
if
if something
podcast
yeah.
if something like a podcast ended.
So when he paused like that,
You were like,
I
oh,
was like, oh, you know,
you're so insensitive to
I know
even
that.
ask him. That's
That
like,
is so wrong of me thinking that you're not a sensitive man like me, Paul.
I'm a very sensitive dude,
see,
and for sure I was crying on the inside.
oh, there you go.
There we
See,
go.
I cry on the inside. Do I not?
No, you don't.
Whoa, whoa,
You
whoa.
swing and
I
tell people
swing.
you swing and hit people and say you hate them when they ask you to marry them in such an awesome,
So
surprising,
this
sweet
was
way.
like 4 years ago, everybody. For 3.5, 4 years ago, and yet he's still milking this.
Yep.
And he'll be milking this for the next 20, 30 years.
Just as long as your dad keeps milking his stuff.
He did. Well, I am not my dad.
No.
And you are not my dad either.
Oh, I'm not your
So,
dad.
so
Dad,
we
I don't
should
want
not
you
milk
calling me
anything.
daddy because you know I hate that damn
Ew.
song.
Yeah. So Paul, how do you feel about women who call their men daddy? What do you feel? What are your feelings on the daddy nickname? I would love to know.
What do you know where it come from? There's a song out there that said daddy.
Well, it's
Well, it's one of them.
no. Pimps call their men daddy, and that's where it came from.
Pimps call their men daddy. Okay.
Prostitutes call their pimps daddy. You know, freak out men. Don't make me
Well, you know what?
roofie you
Well,
and
pimps.
take you in the back.
Well, could
So
the pimps call their men? Well, the pimps.
pimps. I mean, hey, pimps might have men,
That's true.
and they might call their men daddy.
That
So
is
that's
true.
totally plausible.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah. So what do you think about that?
I don't know, maybe it's my inner geek talking, but I think that if it's a little sister, calling a big daddy, then it's okay.
Then that's okay. In that circumstance,
I can
we're all
understand
good.
that. I can understand that. I guess I think the whole daddy. If
It creeps me
it
out,
creeps me out if they say daddy.
actually.
Now if they say big daddy,
That creeps me out as well.
it does it.
It always makes me think of some black exploitation prostitute calling her pimp daddy. Always. For some reason, always.
Huh?
Girl calling daddy, black exploitation film in the 70s. Bam.
Really?
Yeah. I think Paul likes talking to us about these creepy things. So you, chat room, speaking of chat room, who's telling us we're totally creepy. In the chat room today, we have Hando, who I hope is ready to roll for us later. We have Bronco Sire. We have Seminatrix. And we have Steve Wilkinson. And we also have that dude 3737
You know who that is, right?
as Aaron.
Okay. Just make
Why can't I say that dude? That is his name.
You can.
Podcast over. Sorry, Paul. We're going to have you on a third time because
Okay.
Jay's Punk Gopher is in the room.
Rev.
And Rusting Willpower is also in the room.
What is up, everybody?
Hello, chat room. You all see me getting ready to freaking kick Jay's ass over here.
Oh yeah. So, um, so Paul, um, the last time we had you on the show, it was quite early in the morning. I mean, it was like 7 a.m. or something.
Well, I got up at
Yes.
7 a.m. for Paul.
No,
Oh,
he got up for us.
Okay, I was going to say because that wouldn't happen. Oh,
Right.
no, Paul, I'm just playing. You're awesome.
So, but you're in the States right now.
Yes, I'm now sitting in my parents' house in Florida, trying to recover from my post-tacular blues.
I know. So, what was? I'm sad. I'm glad that you were at Nerdtacular, but I'm also deeply saddened that we didn't get to spend as much time with one another
We
as we
didn't.
had hoped.
You know what? That's what happens in Nerdtacular. You're like, oh, I'll have time, and then
Yep.
you never have time.
Yeah, even though it was a 2-day event this time, which I think was great, and the venue was great despite the landslides and everything. I think you guys talked about last week. Um, for me, I came with my wife and our 1-year-old daughter, and my parents came out to meet us so they could spend more time. So I had great time attending a lot of the events, but we were jet lagged
Yeah.
for a lot of it. So like by some of the afternoon sessions, I was crashed out, and my wife and baby were crashed out. But a lot of the time I felt guilty because it's like I was like, oh, I should be back, with my parents and
Yeah.
going up the Sky Car and everything. And
Right. Right.
so I tried to, split the time as much as I could. I did miss a couple of the panels. I missed Jay's panel on media and video games. I really wanted to see that, but I couldn't make that one. I missed some of the evening concerts, and then we ended up actually leaving early on Saturday because I was having lunch that day with some of the producers, and I think Veronica and a couple of the others were saying they were going to leave that night and get a hotel near the airport because they had to fly out early Sunday and they didn't want to get stuck like
Right,
had
right.
happened. And we had a very early flight on Sunday, so that's what we ended up doing too. So we missed I missed some of the concerts, and some of that's regrettable, but I had a great time. And yeah, I just wish I had more time to socialize and to game and, just to talk with people there. There's never enough time.
Yeah.
And I was joking with some people on Twitter. I was like, we should build up to like the Nerdtacular 5-day cruise.
That
Right.
would be so awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm so sad that I didn't get to meet the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we knew too. I mean, that was partly, why I didn't kind of drive it. One, I forgot what room you were in. But then two, I mean, I understand because you guys were jet lagged. And when I saw
Yeah.
you, I could visually
Yeah.
tell,
You were tired.
But it was great because my dad was there, and I took him to the morning stream. He knows nothing of podcasting or any of the work that the guys do.
Right, right.
He really enjoyed the morning stream. I took him to the prize apocalypse, and I actually got him. He had a ticket, so he had a chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
and so he really enjoyed that, and I think he had a really nice time with it, and it was a nice experience for him to be there with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think my dad would enjoy the morning stream. I think he'd think it
Yeah.
was
So there's
fun.
a couple things I want to say that I think I may not I was able to say last week. Well, probably I did. One, a little bit of the background music you hear now is from the Andrew Allen Trio, that from the Free Play album. I want to thank him and the Coverville Media um, folks for allowing us to use that music in the background as we're talking and stuff. And then also, I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Bronco, Jeff Sire, for allowing me to take his spot on the Games and Media panel. Um, thank you deeply for that. And that was one of the highlights of Nerdtacular
It
13 for me.
was.
You
It
know,
was. You did a great job up there.
and and
And
it,
that's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing on the DVD later
and then
when they get
also,
released.
yeah, and he actually put it up on the final score feed as well. I didn't know that he was gonna put that up on the final score feed, but Scott did. So, um, but yeah. So how was the dinner with the producers?
Yeah, that was great. I was one of the Kickstarter guys who bought into the lunch with the producers thing,
Right, right.
and that was awesome. I mean, I wasn't sure how that was going to work, or if I was going to be too zoned out to be able to participate. But it was handled really, really well. I think the whole event was managed great, and yeah, the producers all came down. They trickled down at first, but then everybody was there. We were all just kind of sitting around talking. I had a great conversation with Steven Schleicher, who, is somebody I hear just in his podcasts and in guest spots with Scott, and just somebody who knows so much about comics, but he's also a teacher and a podcaster. And so I had a lot of questions for him about how he balances work and podcasting. And Brian Dunaway came down and was talking about, stuff I was asking him about, some of his old comics and things, and
Dude,
the work that
Brian's
he
freaking
does. And
insane. Like
yeah,
if you get him one on one,
Yeah,
he's a little nutty.
yeah.
yeah. And then Tom Merritt came down and was eating, and I was talking to him for a little bit about Edward Snowden being in Hong Kong and everything, because I was following their coverage on TNT and stuff, and it was very well managed, and it was a really great time, and yeah, I was just really glad to be able to participate with that.
Okay. Man, so Sunday you left out early Sunday, and
Yeah, we flew out Saturday. We left Snowbird Saturday night,
mhm.
right after the prize apocalypse. We just kind of bolted. And there was because I don't know, were you guys still there? Did they get any more washouts? I don't think they did.
They
I tried
did
to follow the
not.
news.
I actually was. We were risking it
Yeah,
because one, with the whole San Francisco airport thing,
yeah,
we were going to try to fly out earlier.
Yeah, we were.
And what happened? I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna call. I tried to call at night to get an earlier flight. Didn't happen because they were so busy. Like I was on hold for almost 2 hours, and I ended up hanging up. They actually called me back. Delta did, but I had my phone on do not disturb, so it didn't go through. But I got up that morning. I checked the hotline to see if there was another slide, and it wasn't. But then I called Delta, and they were able to get us on an 8:30 flight. So we bolted out of the hotel room, checked out, gave all our food away, and left.
So yeah, we gave all our food away.
Gave
It
all
was
our food
gone.
away. Rushed to the airport, and we saw Eileen and Tom when when we walked in. Waved real quick, and they were able to get us on an earlier flight. But luckily, it was leaving at 10:30 instead of 8:30. So we were able to grab something to eat um, at this Mexican place. We had burritos.
Dude, this place was like a Qdoba, but better than a
It was better than
Qdoba.
Qto. I can't remember the name of it, but it was awesome. And so we ate there for breakfast.
Yes, we had burritos. It was at 9:30 in
It
the
was
morning,
9:30.
but it was good. Who said that pancakes have to be in the AM only?
Right. And so then we flew from there to Atlanta, a mad dash in the middle of Atlanta from Concourse A to C to get on the plane, and we got back here at 7 p.m. But yeah, we didn't have any more. There was no more landslides after that. You
That was
know.
it. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Um, and then also, since you're back in the states, what is the one thing? What is your you must have when when you come to the states? Is there like one restaurant you have to go to, or one, you know, I know like when a lot of Canadians come over, they like going to Walmart.
Really?
They used to.
They don't have Walmart in.
They do now. I
Oh,
think
okay.
so. But you remember um, Oscar? What's his
Yes.
freaking name?
Danny.
Dan.
Dan.
Yeah, he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Walmart and stock up on clothes. So what's the one thing you have to do when you come home?
Um, yeah, it's well, I mean, Walmart is still a big piece of it.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, we go and we, cause they have WalMarts in China, but none in Hong Kong. So, and a lot of the stuff, I mean, we buy like I buy a big thing of Tums, and actually, it's not. I guess it's more fair to say Sam's,
Okay.
That
which is
makes
I guess
sense.
still a part of Walmart. I
Right.
guess the Sam's Club, but we
Right.
go there, we buy, socks and underwear and all the stuff that they don't carry my size in over
Right.
in Hong Kong
When you told
because
me
I'm
that
a
before,
pretty
I
big
was
guy.
like, they don't have any of your size there. That would be horrible.
Hey.
Yeah,
Imagine if you messed all of your underwear. You would have to order some from Amazon.
yeah, yeah. And I'd have to see if
Messed
they'd
all of your
ship because a
underwear.
lot of stuff, some stuff Amazon will ship and some stuff they won't.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's crazy.
depends on like Amazon's pretty good with if it's their stuff shipping it over, but if it's a third party vendor,
Right.
sometimes they don't.
Oh, okay.
Because
That,
the cost,
that
I
makes more
guess.
sense.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wanted to talk about our weekend, unless you wanted to talk about to Paul more
Well, we
about
can.
something
Oh, well,
else.
he's gonna be here on the whole show, so
I know, but
I'll be able to ask him more throughout the whole show.
you're you're like very eager. I think you have a crush on Paul,
I do.
and that's fine.
It's
I
okay.
totally, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's more
cool.
than fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, there
Okay.
you go.
Cool. I'm good.
So let's talk about our weekend.
All right. Oh. And
Okay,
that was really loud.
yeah, that was super quiet, and then super loud, and then super quiet
So
again.
yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I'm,
Yes.
who is working the soundboard today?
I think Paul's making you nervous, but it's fine. So this weekend, I just want to address the thing that comes up every year, and it's Nerdtacular Depression. Those of y'all who know what it is, those of y'all who have been to Nerdtacular know this feeling well. It's like 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 the first day or so, you're super high from all the fun you've had and all the
Right.
people you've met, and then you crash. I can't believe it's a whole year until another Nerdtacular. So I crashed kind of hard. I was really sad, Paul. I was like, man, all my friends not gonna see again for a whole nother year. Why are
Right.
you laughing at me? It was
Uh,
You
real.
was crying on the
it
inside, right?
I
is.
was crying on
I,
the inside.
I think that it's like the Nerdtacular group is a bit like a Borg collective.
Right.
And when everybody gets together, they're all super excited. They're all super happy to see each other. And you get on this super high, and then everybody spreads out, gets back home, and they're all super sad. And so there's on some spiritual level or some cyber level, they're all connected and still affecting each other sad with their sadness.
Right.
Yeah, and I've never really been to an event like that where I feel so sad when leaving.
Yeah.
So,
It's almost like a. It's you can't say family
no,
reunion.
because I definitely feel way more sad for him than for Nerdtacular than a family
I'm
reunion.
trying to think.
Like,
You know
I'm
what?
not sad when I
You
leave a
know what
family
it's like.
reunion.
You know what it's like. It's like graduation, high school graduation. That's
It's
what
kind
it's
of like
like.
that, yeah. Like
It's
knowing,
like you. It's like that last week of school you have with your friends.
and I think there's a part of you that you know you wonder if this is the last time you'll see them
Right.
because it can be expensive and
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I hope it's not because like when Paul said he couldn't come the next year, I was like,
Right. Right.
no, I'm never gonna see Paul again. But
So I
he
think
came
that's
back,
what
so
it's
it was
like
awesome.
when you think about it. Because I'm sitting here because I have my 20th year anniversary coming up. Shut up, everybody. I'm not that old.
Jay's old.
Um, reunion for high school,
Old.
right?
Not even college. Y'all old.
Yeah. if it was college, I'd be way older.
Are you sure it's not college then?
It's not college. It's high school.
Oldie face.
So, the reunion, you kind of come back and everything. You see everybody, blah, blah, blah. But going back to that week, that final week of your senior year at high school, you know, all your friends are going to college. You might be going to college. You may be going to get a job. You may be going into service or whatever. It's just like this is the climax of your teenage years almost, and it's coming to that peak, top of the hill, and that's kind of like what Nerdtacular is like that last week of high school, and then when you graduate, it's kind of like, man, this is real. I think. I think so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're right,
You know.
but it is what it is. See, now I'm getting sad, but I really enjoyed seeing everybody, and there's a big Scott has a big Flickr share of pictures out there that he's posted, over 500 pictures.
Right.
So if you want to go relive some of the Nerdtacular wonderfulness, or if you want to show people what it was like, send them there, and they can see all the smiles and the happy people. And so yeah.
So I just want to just say the Salmonatrix in the chat room. Renee says you're old as well since you graduated.
No, I'm telling
in
her that
93.
I thought she was way, way, way younger.
But because the fact that you said
Like,
I'm old because of my 20th year anniversary,
I thought, well,
20th year
no,
reunion.
it only applies to you.
No,
It only
Renee,
applies
I'm sorry.
to you.
I'm
It
sorry.
only
No, that's not how it works.
All right, yo. So we're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
stop.
That's not how it works.
We're gonna stop the feed so we can fight. So it's
No,
not.
that's not how it works. So
But no. I thought she was younger than me, and I graduated in '97. So, yeah.
you
So
whippersnapper.
you have good genes, Sam. Good genes. Good genes.
So yeah, I was a little sad too about it, but because one work, you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So you know how that goes.
No.
I mean, I enjoy work. I love my job, so don't get it twisted. I do
Mm.
love my job, and I love the people I work with.
Mm.
But I wish that I didn't have to um, work.
Here's. c- Can I ask an off-the-wall question?
Sure.
I'm just curious, and this is not something I'm supposed to ask. Why are you still having the music playing in the background? I'm just
Because
curious.
does it bother you?
No. I was just curious.
I
Like,
don't know.
I just said I was just curious before I even
No,
asked
I
you.
just had it playing. I just feel like playing a little
Alright.
music, a little talking music.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering. I feel like you're doing the stuff for Paul you don't do for me, but that's fine.
Oh, I guess you didn't pay attention, but we did it last week also.
Whatever. Uh, so something big happened
You
today.
do realize we
when
did this last week, right?
Yeah. Sure. So, Paul, guess what happened? We came home. So, I don't know if you remember Jay griping about our neighbor and his grass and how his backyard grass was 4 feet high, right? So, we came home today. Jay, what happened today?
There was his grass was mowed, and all the clippings were in the road.
So, and he had mowed the front, well, his son had mowed the front yard horribly a few weeks back, but the front yard was mowed, and it was so short. It was like, that grass could have been more than like an inch and a half high.
Right.
It was
It was
horrible.
more than what?
Inch and a half high.
Oh, right now.
Yeah, right now.
Oh yeah, he cut somebody bobcat that thing. They buzzed, cut that or something.
It was funny, but the back is done also. And if you guys seen the back, I think he broke 2 mowers trying to mow it in back.
Yeah,
'Cause-
somebody went back there with a bush hog
and just
and cut the yard.
and
mowed
we
the
were
lawn.
like, oh, and it's just gonna grow high again
Yep.
because he sucks. But I'm happy it's gone, so now we won't have vermin in our backyard. So no, Jay did not go over and neck punch him to get him to mow it.
No,
but,
you
he gave him threatening looks probably.
you know what? I wouldn't even go over and look. I think I was over it. I was already accepting that maybe the grass would kill over and die itself.
Grass doesn't just kill over and die. A
I
whole
saw
yard
it
of
brown
grass.
over there. It was getting dry over there. Where if I threw a match over it, would have burned the whole yard up. So
Arsonist.
I know. Um, And then also, we talked about this a little bit last week
Oh, did we already?
about the
Okay.
screen
Well,
door.
never mind.
You know what? We may not have. So we came back home from Nerdtacular, and we had our new AC, but our screen door out the back was broken. The hinge was broken, and so we've been trying to get that fixed. So we thought we were going to have to hang a new storm door, which we will. But right now, we're just limping along with our one hinge broken.
Right. We were thinking about doing it ourselves. Have you ever done anything like that? Have you ever hung a door, Paul?
Not by myself, no.
Yeah. So
Not by yourself. Well, I think that's more of a. I would think that's a two-man job.
yeah, it's a two-man job.
So
Like,
but you've hung one with someone else.
Yeah, I've helped my dad.
see,
So how is it? Was it hard?
No, no. I mean, if you've got pretty simple hinges to work with, it's pretty easy.
Well, this is so the way that this one actually is that you actually the hinge is built into the frame, so you have to replace that whole. You
So you have
know,
to brace the whole frame.
yeah.
yeah.
That's a bit more challenging.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, yay.
Well, we could probably take it off and then just get a door with hinges and just do it that way.
What?
Go get it. Make our own.
Make our own door?
Well, not make our own door. You can buy a door by itself that's not pre-hung,
Right.
and then you can just put on the hinge.
Okay, so the ones we were looking at Home Depot are pre-hung.
Right. You just have to put them into the frame of the.
How much is the pre-hung ones? Like $10? Yes, I'll do it. I'll take it if it's $10.
Nah, not really. But I mean, that's something that we'll think about, doing. Um, and then you want to talk about Dragon Con?
Yeah, I do. Just a quick note, everybody, we're looking ahead to Dragon Con because that's coming up soon. Dragon Con is Labor Day weekend, where it always is. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. The Valentines will be there.
We're just telling everybody come rob our house. No, I'm playing.
I'm sure they'll definitely. Hey, if they wanted to rob our house, they could have came when we were at freaking
Nerdtacular, I know.
So yeah, so we're gonna be at Dragon Con, and if you're gonna be there, let us know.
Yeah.
And then come and find us. We're mostly gonna hang out around the podcasting track, for the most part. I know it's a really big place there, so.
Oh yeah.
Tweet us, tell us where you are if you want to say hi. But I'm super excited about Dragon Con. This is the place where we go to watch all the costumes.
Now, are there any type of conferences like that or something similar, or any conferences like that in Hong Kong, Paul?
They have a couple small conferences. Mostly they're about like toys.
Mm-hmm.
Building like model Gundam robots or, mostly geared around Japanese pop culture. So they have a couple conventions that are sort of oriented for manga and anime.
Right.
But they're really, really, really small compared to, Comic-Con and Dragon Con and some of the stuff that goes on now. And it's a pretty small market. There's not a lot of people collecting or reading like DC and Marvel comics over in Hong Kong. Most of what's consumed is stuff that's come over from Japan. It's been translated into Chinese.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
Interesting.
Is a Dragon Con your kind of thing? You think you'd like that? I mean, it's really, really overwhelming.
Yeah, I was a big con goer back in the 90s,
Oh,
and when they were very small. They weren't commercialized like they are today. I used to go to the occasional Star Trek convention. I don't know if it was called Dragon Con. I seem to recall being called Fantasy Fest or something, but it was in Atlanta, and I went to that with a friend a couple years, and I really liked it because they were kind of geek-centric, and they were small. Today's cons, like BlizzCon and Comic-Con, it looks like they're just so massive that I don't really like big crowds. That's one of the things I like about Nerdtacular is that it's a small group of people that, you can connect with and you can socialize with. I think I'd just be lost in the masses if I was to go to a con today.
Oh yeah. And I think it's because being a nerd is acceptable, so more people are embracing it, and yeah. It's It's nice though. That's where I get all my people watching in. I see some of the most amazing people in costumes, so
Yep.
it's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I wanted to talk about. We don't generally talk about controversial stuff on here, just
Right.
because I don't like talking about it a
Right.
ton.
And then this has a lot to do with the state that you're actually in
Yes,
as well.
so it's a good
Um,
idea to bring
Yeah,
it up.
frickin' Florida.
so on
America's butthole. Oh, sorry,
America's penis, America's wang.
wang and butthole at the same time. If you really think about it.
So Saturday night, the Trayvon Martin. Well, let me rewind that. The Gary Zimmerman trial, um,
Is his name Gary? I didn't even
or
realize.
George Zimmerman,
George.
whatever.
Gary. We can call him Gary.
Gary,
It's fine.
George,
I'm
Mr.
sure he won't
Zimmerman.
mind.
Zimmerman, the Zimmerman trial, came to a conclusion, and the his peers, his jurors, found him not guilty.
Correct.
Uh, and there, from what I understand, I found out today there were actually riots going on in L.A.
Yep.
And
Because LA people lose their freaking mind apparently.
see, and someone asked me that. They was like, "People, why do people riot?" And I was like, "People are rioting." They said, "Yeah," and I said, "Where?" They said, "L.A." I was like, "Oh, that's L.A."
They like they like riot if somebody gets put in jail for jaywalking. Ah!
Right, right.
So I'm not too worried about LA.
So, this the a lot of people were upset that he was found not guilty.
All right.
Um, a lot of people were um, screamed justice prevailed because he was found not guilty.
Right.
Um, a lot of people screamed racism.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people screamed America. There's a lot of stuff that was screamed America,
People are screaming.
America so 1920s
Yeah.
and
So
everything.
so I wanted to give our quick opinions just because I mean I'm a little frustrated because on my Facebook feed and Twitter feed I'm seeing the oh my gosh, America's so horrible. I can't. There's no justice for Trayvon. Innocent children get gunned down in the street. Yada yada yada. My thing is, yes, it's sad that he died. It's sad when anybody dies. It's sad when somebody dies in the freaking electric chair. For me, when anybody dies, I don't like it. My thing is, how do we know he was freaking innocent? I mean, that's my thing. I
Right,
don't. I mean, he like very very well could have been beating George Zimmerman to the point where he had to defend himself. And
right,
I'm not a fan of guns. I'm sure a lot of people know that. But the freaking law in Florida is that if you feel like your life is threatened, you can defend yourself. That's just the law in Florida, and it's not like the law is new. It's been there for a few years at least.
right. And
So I and when people keep calling him a child, I'm like, look, technically he was a minor. He was 17. It's not like he was 11 years old. Okay? And I think it's the people that jump to either conclusion that he was automatically guilty or he was automatically innocent because he was a
right,
black teen walking down the street. We
right.
don't know. And so that just frustrated me. People who have no idea, they automatically declare justice was not done or justice was done. And it's horrible to
Well,
me.
here's my thing with this whole thing is that I was on a jury before for a murder trial, and we had to go off of what information we were given within that trial. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And the prosecution at that trial that I was on didn't have enough evidence to prove homeboy was guilty
Right.
on on the one that I was on. Even though even though in my mind and even in some of the other jurors' mind, we felt this is a feeling,
Hmm.
we felt that he may have done it.
Right.
But our duty as citizens, I said duty, so.
You did say duty.
Our duty as citizens is to go off of the facts that we have before us.
Yeah, and that's what people don't understand. You go off the facts. The prosecution, the prosecution kept saying a feeling.
Right.
You should have a feeling. You can't have feelings when you are doing law, because law
Right.
doesn't work on feelings.
Right.
So I think that's my thing, and that my eyes were a big eye roll when I saw everybody's Facebook status. Like,
Right.
and it's just, ugh, I just couldn't take it. So I want to know what the temperature's like down in Florida
So
on
what is the
this.
temperature like down in Florida?
Um, well, I think of course, it's been all over the news here because it's a big Florida story. You can't turn on any newscast without it being sort of the lead story. But since the verdicts come out, um, I think the local news channels have been a bit quieter about it
Mm-hmm.
in the hopes that further discussion won't spark anything off. I know there's protests going on in many cities. There's protests going on down here, of course, and it's my understanding that so far they've all been peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
I had not heard about the stuff going on in L.A., but like Renee said, that's not surprising because it's L.A. I think they have college courses on rioting in
Right.
L.A.
Right.
Christ.
Um, so yeah, I think that it's the thing that it's sort of my own personal take because I've been following the story. Even when I'm overseas, I try and keep up with Florida news.
Right.
And the thing that makes me not sit well with the whole thing is that I know that they tried to go on the fact that George Zimmerman feared for his life,
Right.
and so he ultimately used a gun to defend himself.
Right.
And I'm certainly not an anti-Second Amendment person at all, but I do think that okay, here's a person who used a gun against another person who didn't have a gun. And the whole stand your ground law in Florida, I find kind of amazing because when I was young, it used to be you had to have meet force with equal force,
Right.
and that's since been changed. So if somebody was attacking you with a knife, you weren't supposed to shoot them.
Okay.
But now we have the stand your ground thing. But I just find it that okay, so he's ended a human life,
Right.
and for him, that's it. He just, it's like, if I were to take my car and kill somebody with my car, I'd lose my license. You know,
Right.
I might not go to jail, but I wouldn't be able to drive.
Right.
There'd be some kind of penalty.
Some kind of penalty.
Right.
Right.
And in this case, it just seems like there's no penalty at all.
I know,
And
and that's
Yeah.
the thing that kind of
Yeah. Now,
threw me.
now that I get.
Yeah.
Now that I totally get. It's not that he. My thing is that people automatically thought that Trayvon did nothing.
Right.
That he was just walking down the street. He didn't try to attack him or anything.
Right.
I've heard that from a lot of people. And I'm like, don't try to paint him as this innocent teenager when you don't know. He might have done something. He
Right.
might not have. I wasn't there for the trial. I didn't even follow the trial.
Yeah.
But I agree. I don't like the stand your ground laws. I think it's stupid. That's me. But
and here's my thing,
yeah.
like I mean, I was trying to figure out how to say this. So I had a friend. Two friends were in the car. One of them had been drinking, and they wrapped the car around a tree.
Mhm.
Okay, and and a person died in the car accident. Okay, and the person that was driving ended up getting vehicular manslaughter.
Right.
Okay, they did try the person for murder. You know, but I think it would have been wise because I guess the one thing that kind of threw me was that the jurors asked them, "What about manslaughter?" And then the lawyers or the prosecution or defending lawyers asked the jurors back, "What do you mean?" or something like that.
Mhm.
But the jurors never said anything back.
Right.
So I thought that maybe he would get manslaughter, because I mean, there's involuntary manslaughter. That's not life in prison,
Mhm.
but there is something that you know he's he's punished for.
Right.
There isn't anything going to bring Trayvon back. We all know that.
Mhm.
Um, but also, I mean, I feel for both families, the Zimmerman family and the Martin family. And I feel for us as a nation because I feel like this thing is just blazing the line, between, it's not making things better for either side.
Right. And I mean, I think there should. I just don't like the way gun laws are and go on in this country. And I mean, I understand the Second Amendment, but it's hard for me to be the person to talk to about the Second Amendment because I don't know. I just feel kind of odd
Right.
about the whole gun thing. But that's me. I promise I'm not trying to take anybody's guns,
Right.
but that's just me.
And
So the
then
whole thing is a
and
little
then my whole
weird.
thing with the whole Trayvon thing is that a lot of times I try not to share my opinion because my opinion, if if you hear my opinion, you I try to make it seem like you don't know which side I'm on.
Mhm.
Because honestly, when it comes down to it, the two people that know what happened at night, no, freaking George Zimmerman. Why I keep calling the dude Gary?
Gary.
George Zimmerman and Trayvon. When it comes down to it, those are the two that know. And one of those parties, it has since been is dead now, and George has to live with this for the rest of his life. And I know people are saying, well, at least he gets to live his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not saying that George's punishment is equal to Trayvon, what happened to Trayvon, or anything like that. But I just think that when it comes down to it, I mean, it's just it's a sticky situation,
It is,
and
and I probably shouldn't have
opinions.
brought it up, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
know
was frustrated.
I know we probably
That's fine. People can be
maybe
pissed off because no one can believe 100% of what you believe anyway. And I just think that Florida has weird laws. I don't know if Florida has weird laws in other ways, Paul, but
right.
that just seems the odd
It's
one.
not just weird laws. Florida has weird people.
Yeah, it's
You know,
uh,
true.
I mean, I've already heard jokes coming out because the case before this was the whole Casey Anthony thing,
oh
and
yeah, yeah, I remember that.
and now we've got this Aaron Hernandez guy. I guess he was a Florida Gator football player or something, and so
Right,
his case is gonna, it's all about the media spotlight.
I
So
gotta look up about Aaron Hernandez. Oh, he murdered somebody.
right.
Crazy
And I
Florida.
think too. I mean, some people have some points. I guess the lady in Jacksonville that shot a gun in the air to warn off her husband ended up getting 20 years in prison because she felt she was in danger.
Mhm.
And so it's just
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think because of the freaking morning stream, I hear so many stories about Florida. And I know it's probably biased. It's not only Florida, but they have a big percentage of the crazy stories.
well, Florida does have its own Twitter feed under the pseudonym Florida Man because of all the news
Florida man.
stories that start out with Florida Man does something really crazy and stupid.
that
And
is
That's
so,
awesome. I
hilarious.
need to
yeah.
look at that. Florida man.
Florida man.
So yeah, so sorry for going so deep, but it was just really frustrating to me. So I had to
Now, I
air
just
it.
want to. I mean,
It's my podcast. I do what I want.
but I just want to just to those that do listen. I mean, and everything else, and no matter what side you choose or what side you're on, just remember our church, our religion, tenets
Right.
of the Valentine household. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's
I
basically what we
mean,
say.
you can state your feelings, and 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 people should listen. You don't have to agree, but you don't have to be a dick to the other person. If it's something that you can't control and discuss within reason, it may be best that it won't be discussed at all.
Right.
So feel free to email us, call us, tell us what you feel. If you, well, we know people probably don't agree and
Of course not.
don't like my straddle defense mentality.
I don't straddle the fence.
I do.
I don't.
It
I mean,
depends.
well, yeah, it like because I will straddle the fence if I really don't know one way or the other. But if I
Right.
have an opinion, I freaking say it. But
Right.
But so yeah, so Trayvon Martin. So now, yeah,
Oh, so I guess we're
yeah,
gonna hop
yeah.
into a little bit of tech. I,
Jay's not getting my signals here
no, it's not
today.
that. I was actually looking at the time.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Well, we we will fly.
What? We will fly? We're gonna fly, folks.
I give
Technology.
up. I'm going home. Jay
Yep, you
can't
should go
handle the
home.
soundboard, right? So I just want to talk about a few things. Google Glass. Jay had a coworker on the news talking about Google Glass.
Oh, you gonna bring this up? I kind of didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, well, how was I supposed to know?
I didn't know
You
you was gonna
didn't
put that
say,
in.
"Hey,
Well, you
Renee,
said I have a
let's not
coworker.
talk about."
You said I have a coworker.
You did. I didn't say talk about the coworker. I just said I was going to talk about the Google
Okay,
Glass,
go
and that's
ahead.
it.
What about the Google Glass?
Um, so yeah, people are having it out and about. I don't know. I think it looks kind of silly, but that's just
Yeah,
my opinion. Do
yeah.
you think that you would like it, Paul, when it comes to public consumption next year?
Google Glass.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on what it does.
So it's
I don't like wearing glasses to begin with,
Well,
really.
then you would
So
probably hate Google
right,
Glass then.
right.
yeah.
And then like you be talking to yourself. I think it's the weirdest thing. I'm sorry. I still,
yeah.
even though it's 2013 and that's the thing, when I'm out in public, I don't want to talk to my cell phone or my Google Glass.
Unfortunately, the image of Robert Scoble in the shower got widely circulated over on Google Plus, and I have a hard time scrubbing that out of my brain. So
Yeah, and that that sounds like a horrible thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
Google Glass, boom. And I actually wanted to mention this because this is interesting to me. Apparently, Apple is said to be working on ad skipping tech for TV.
Right.
So actually, for TV, they're going to be skipping ads, and they're working on some TV kind of box. So
So you do in Hong Kong you do Apple iTunes, right?
yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay. Because everyone else doesn't play nice, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, the other services, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and those, we always, unless we're using a VPN that's hosted overseas,
Mm-hmm.
we always get the you're out of region message
Right. Right.
for that stuff.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm interested in what Apple brings to the table. I like Apple
What you just
products
pull out of notes
because
about the Surface?
I'm skipping things.
We can talk about
No,
the
no, no, no.
Surface.
You told me look at the time.
No, I just said I was looking at the time. Is all I said. So
The Surface.
the Surface from Microsoft, they actually dropped the price on the Surface by $150. So for you folks that have been waiting for that right time, if you were like, man, if the Microsoft Surface was just $100 less, I would totally go get it. Here's your chance. So go get your Surface now.
Yeah, I don't think they saw a run on Best Buy to go get the Surface or anything.
Now I
But
think if they had said that the Surface was dropped to 150,
oh yeah, people would, but they'd be losing money on that at
yeah.
that point. I think. I mean, it's not like I know what components cost, but yeah.
So in Hong Kong, what is the is the mobile device of choice? Is it varied in Hong Kong or is
Yeah, although I think that right now Samsung is probably getting more and more market share. It used to be Apple was king,
mm-hmm.
and you go on the subway, you go on the bus, and you see everybody using an Apple
Right.
iPad or an iPhone.
Right.
But in the I want to say last 2 years, Samsung has really captured a lot of the market,
Okay.
and they've got so many different handsets out there. It's just hard to keep track of.
Yep. And you you were an Apple guy and you switched over to Android, right?
Well, I'm still an Apple guy. I still use MacBooks,
Okay.
MacBook Pro. I love my iPad,
Uh-huh.
but I have a Galaxy Note that I've
Okay.
used, and for my phone, and that was a crossover upgrade from my iPhone 3, which
Okay.
I used for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I got an iPhone 5 for my wife because she loves it, and I think that I've been looking at I looked at the the Galaxy Note 8 as a possible replacement for my iPad and my phone, because that is sort of like an iPad mini size, but it can do phone function.
Good Lord.
And I wasn't that impressed with some of the specs, so I'm just keeping my iPad for now, and
Right.
we'll see what comes up down the road.
So that Galaxy Note 8, so that's the size of an iPad mini?
Yes, basically.
Dude, what? How,
It's just like a tablet,
I
though,
know,
right?
but how would that
Oh
feel
yeah, you can talk on the phone
using it
on it.
as a phone?
Yeah, that's my wife was joking. She, hold that up to your ear. I was like, no, because I never take phone calls to my ear
That's
anymore. I
so
always use the
weird.
cord,
Okay.
So, and
With
You use the
with
headphones?
earbuds.
yeah, and
Okay.
a lot of times I'm on my iPad, I'm reading something or I'm, sketching something out on it on the bus, and then my phone will ring, and I'll have to swap things out and, you know, um, sort of change over hands, and it can be, can be a little bit troublesome sometimes. So I've always wanted sort of like a all-in-one device. I honestly wish that the iPad could make phone calls, and
Right.
then be, I'd be a happy camper.
So JK in the chat room said he uses Bluetooth earpiece. So now I have this vision of the douchey guy with the Bluetooth earpiece
Well,
that's in line.
so my question is, were you so you are calling me a douche back in the late thousands, or was it
Were you calling me
later
old
thousands?
earlier?
This is about me,
No.
not you
Were
right
you calling
now.
me old earlier?
This is about me, not you.
If you were
Because
calling me
when I
old
was dating
earlier,
Jay, I was the person with the Bluetooth earpiece on every. I have a family photo wearing a Bluetooth
she took her
earpiece.
license picture
I took my license
with
picture
the Bluetooth
with
then.
Bluetooth. I'm surprised they didn't tell me to take it out,
They probably
actually.
didn't see it because your hair was covering it up a little
But
bit.
yeah, so
So
this
yes, if
is
you were
so
calling me
yeah.
old earlier because of my 20th
Well,
high school
but
reunion, then yes.
this is not about you. This is
No,
about
I'm
me.
answering your question.
You know what?
So I'm giving you a
So
mathematical question. If this, then yes.
your wife doesn't do math.
Well,
She
this is a
your wife
programming
is no
question.
longer
This is
in.
you are a developer. This is a if then statement,
Oh,
Renee.
forget you. So yeah, speaking of iPhone, your wife needs to be careful because apparently, allegedly, I'm kind of meh on this, but allegedly a woman has gotten electrocuted to death from her iPhone 5 that she answered while it was charging.
What?
So charging the wall, she answered it, electrocution. So okay, I'll tell you what my take is on it.
Her hair
She
was
just
wet.
her hair was wet. She just gotten out of the shower.
Yep.
She just washed her hands, and
She didn't
she answered
plug
the
it.
phone.
She didn't plug it in all the way,
Something,
and
because
her hair got hooked around.
okay, so the iPhone's been out for how long? What?
September.
No. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
September.
the iPhone 5, but the
Yep.
older ones, you would think.
You okay? You okay, Paul?
Paul, you all
Yep.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but
That was me sighing with you.
oh,
No, I'm playing.
whatever. So anyway, so it's like, yeah,
Well,
okay,
to
no.
be fair, this story is happening in Xinjiang, China, which
Oh,
is like
really?
the western region of China, and I think that their electrical grid might have had
Ah,
something to do with it as well. I don't know if
really?
Really?
we can lay all the blame on the iPhone.
But yeah. So but now everybody's like, don't answer your iPhone when it's charging, and I'm like, such BS. Like maybe I should be more careful, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not too worried about that. So
Is it bad? So, some people won't get mad at me on this that live in Louisville.
I'm sure they will.
When when Paul said West End, the west part of
The
China,
western part of China. What do you
I
think?
started thinking about the West End here in Louisville.
Well, the western is.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of sketchy over there.
It's a little sketchy,
I was about to
and people
say,
know it's
is it
sketchy.
sketchy on the West End in
The
China?
the west side of China, is that a little sketchy, or is that a little rural? Is that rural?
It's out in the western region.
I don't.
I can't really. I haven't been out there physically, but
Oh,
Oh,
you
come
they
know,
do
on,
have.
Paul. You don't know
actually,
everything
no,
about
that's closer
China?
to. So that's
Oh,
closer
sorry. Jay
to
knows everything about
um,
China. I forgot.
Soviet Union and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know my geography. I didn't know.
yeah.
China could be right next to Japan for all I know. And yes,
Well,
I know
kind of.
Japan's an island.
It's kind
Yes.
of. It kind of is though.
Right. But it's not right next. It's
It's
not
close enough. It's
bordering.
like Hawaii, kind of right there. I think.
For those of y'all who didn't know, I did not take geography. Okay, so I am, you know, yeah.
What state is below us?
I, I
No,
know
answer the question.
Tennessee.
What's what is
Indiana's above us.
what? No, what is east of Tennessee?
I don't know. Don't you like North Carolina?
Oh, Renee does geography. Good job,
That was
babe.
total guess because I saw your face. I was like, I bet it's North Carolina because he's all excited about it.
No, I wouldn't. This is my face all the time. What are you talking about?
That was me like, okay, he's excited. It must be North Carolina. Yes, I got it right. Truthfully, I thought it might be a little higher than Tennessee.
No, because because it's
I don't.
Kentucky, West Virginia, and then Virginia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know. I know Ohio, Indiana, and Tennessee, and that's it.
it's horrible.
And the Wang State and the Collar State, and that's about
The
it.
collar state.
That's what I call California, because okay, it looks kind of like a collar.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
that's just a me thing. But
All right.
anyway, so let's talk about some movies.
Media. Movies, books, comics, TV.
What?
Every time it plays, it's so long.
Oh, I thought you was laughing at Hando because you said China's right next to Canada.
No, but I would totally believe the Ando. But no, every time.
Oh, and
This is like
California
the sausages.
California is the side boob.
The side boob of America.
Nice one, JK.
This is true. This is
I
true.
never heard that.
So our movie that we didn't watch for a week before
Oh,
last was during Nerdtacular week. It was The Skulls. But, we pretty much knew it wasn't going to happen, so we decided to move it over to this week. So we watched The Skulls.
now have you seen the Skulls, Paul?
I don't think so, no.
You may remember this. This movie is about the secret society that that happens in like Yale and all this other stuff. These little private society fraternities where they they um they rule the world and they rule leadership.
Yeah, like supposedly this is like
Like presidents are part of
this
this.
is like a
and,
true thing. So
you
people,
know,
I mean, it could be true, but I think it's a bunch of horseshit. But I guess it could be true technically.
so it's kind of like um uh what was I gonna say? It's kind of like I can't. Oh, Da Vinci Code. It's one of those. It's one of those type of movies
Like
where they take
underground
they
truthness.
take this underground truth thing and make it more than what it is.
Yeah, and it stars Joshua Jackson, aka Pacey from Dawson's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And this is back in his heyday. This is 2000, so he was pretty popular at this time. He was like America's sweetheart
Yep.
on the small screen.
And the main actor from Fast and Furious, I can't remember his name. The white dude, not Vin Diesel. The other.
Paul Walker.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
He
also
was in
stars
there.
him.
And he was young.
Yeah, he was. Well, this was 2000, so everybody was freaking young.
And then we had Coach. Coach was in there.
Coach, yeah, the dude played Coach, which
Um,
I'm supposed to remember him, but I think and Leslie Bibb, who was in the first two Iron Man.
Leslie Boob.
Bibb was her
Boob.
name, not Boob,
Yeah.
but Bibb. And so Jay had seen it before. I had seen parts of it. I think a few parts looked
You didn't see it.
mildly familiar. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna ignore
Right.
Jay.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. It was what you read 3 out of.
Yeah, we
3
gave
out
it
of
3.
5.
I mean, it was pretty good. The only person that died in the show was black guy.
Spoiler.
Well, this movie was
2000. Yes, that's fine.
2000.
Yeah.
If you didn't see that coming,
Yeah.
if you didn't see that coming,
Then
then
you don't deserve to be watching
you
movies.
don't deserve to be watching movies. So
So, but what's so disappointing is that there's a Skulls 2 and 3.
that's why I tell you, Paul, I do not understand why there is a Skulls 2 and 3.
Money. They thought they could make some money, but the
But
funny thing is,
granted, 3 sounds like a pretty good story
yeah,
because it's a girl trying to get into the skulls.
yeah, and just the female / male angle is pretty cool.
Right.
But the second one has the exact same plot as the first one.
It's like Hangover.
2 and 3, just like 1. I didn't see Hangover 2 and 3 because why? I already saw Hangover 1. Why I need to see 2 or 3? Same thing
Right.
anyway. You know, people get hungover and they forget where they are and they wake up and they gotta get out of some stupid
Right.
situation.
Right.
Sorry, Hangover fans.
Um.
Were you a Hangover fan, Paul?
I like the first movie. Second one, not so much. Third one was really bad.
Yeah.
Yes, we made the right decision. High five, Jay.
All right.
All right.
Hando, if you want to roll, we have. You want to start roll between. Uh, what is the number is that? 51. Nope. Nope. 50 to 150. Yep, to 150.
And Jay was wondering why I had Skulls 2 and 3 on here. I told him we need to have some danger.
Did, I don't even know if you did you add skulls? Oh, okay.
Yes. We need to have some danger.
Some danger.
And if everything's good, what's the danger for rolling? 106.
All right,
What's
106
the danger?
is going to be
Danger, danger.
uh-oh, the forgotten. Dun dun
Read it.
dun.
Oh,
Reeling
is
from
scary
the
movie?
reeling from the loss of her 8-year-old son. A woman seeks help from a therapist who claims the boy was merely a figment of her imagination.
Oh, who's the star?
This has Julianne Moore.
I love Julianne Moore. She's awesome.
So it's categorized sci-fi, fantasy, thriller, alien sci-fi thriller, mystery.
They covered every genre.
Alien sci-fi. So this is a
Ooh, Anthony
spoiler.
Edwards. You know who that is? He played in ER. Dr. Green.
Dr. Green, the
I'm
black
pretty.
guy.
No.
No, that's all Alfred. So I assumed. Call me racist for assuming that. So,
Look
um,
at me remembering people. Anthony Edwards.
um, so yeah. So we had the Forgotten 106. Thank you, Hando. It's Goose. Oh, I know who Goose is.
Goose who?
So that's Goose from Top Gun.
Who? Anthony Edwards?
J.K. Grammar said Goose and yeah. Okay, so I know who Goose is.
What? I did. I did. Oh, it is him.
So I know who Goose is. What you say, Goose? What you say, a guy show instead of some
ER is a
woman
guy
show?
show.
Psh, whatever.
It has blood.
This is a story.
It has
Soap,
blood.
soap opera in a
It has
hospital. It's
blood.
like general. It's like the general hospital with blood.
That is Anthony Edwards. What? Just blew my mind right now.
Oh, that's Renee's mind being blown. um. So yeah, have you seen The Forgotten, Paul?
If I've seen it, I've forgotten it.
Ah, that's good.
20 internets awarded to Paul.
20. You and Paul, you spend those wisely.
Yep.
Those are worth a lot of money.
Go to internetpoints.com.
So
So spend your points.
so we want to talk about a movie that we saw at the movies this past week.
And it was called
Pacific Rim.
Rim.
So here's the point where Jay is going to decide if we're going to do spoilers or not. What do you think, Jay?
Oh no.
You had all show to decide whether or not we're going to do spoilers.
You know, I'm going to leave it to our chat room. You know,
well,
we could,
people who
but
are listening later.
so I guess it may be a little bit spoilery, a little bit.
Okay, so if you're okay with a little bit spoilery, keep
Right.
listening.
Right.
If you're not okay with a little bit spoilery, just skip ahead until we're not
Right.
talking about it anymore. I guess.
All right. So Pacific Rim is a story based in the future where robots are protecting Earth from monsters that are coming from the water. These aliens have been living under within the Earth's core or through some rift, and
Yeah.
and the rift is in the crevice in the surface of
Pacific
the Pacific
Ocean.
Ocean, I guess.
Yeah, and it's so funny because all this stuff is not spoiler because guess what? It was in the freaking trailer.
Right.
So, no
So
spoilers
basically,
yet.
you have these awesome robots, big old machines
Jaegers,
called Jaegers.
which I was like, Jaeger Meister means master, so Jägermeister is master hunter because Jaeger means hunter.
Right.
It's like, what?
Right.
Learn something.
And so And so basically, when they're fighting these monsters, pretty much protecting it. So robots versus Godzilla is what a lot of people are saying.
Right.
So take it personally going in. That's what I went in thinking. Monsters versus Godzilla.
And it was better than Monsters vs.
Right.
Godzilla.
I
It
mean, I
really
mean,
was.
robots versus Godzilla.
Robots, yeah. Robots.
Yeah, robots and Godzilla.
Robots versus Godzilla. Yeah, it was good. And plus, hey, ladies, it has Idris Elba in
Yeah, which Scott
it.
pointed out last night in the spoiler cast he did with just J.R. Young
Right.
that he had this way of saying the way he talked through the whole movie
Right.
was very military
It
and
was.
straight.
Yes.
But when he gave his speech,
It was very
it was very
emotional.
English.
Very English?
It was-
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to say Idris Elba does anything wrong. I am a huge Idris Elba
Did
fan.
you watch Prometheus?
It wasn't his fault.
Have you seen Prometheus, Paul?
Yeah, the best parts were starring Idris Elba.
Y'all get the hell off my show.
Paul,
That's
high
it. We're
five.
out. We're out of here.
Boom.
All right, y'all. That was a good show.
Idris
We'll
Elba's so awesome.
we'll
You better stop it. Stop it. So if you go see it for Idris Elba, if anything. I tweeted that it was the most tropey, predictable, awesome, amazing movie of the summer.
exactly.
It's like you have to go into it not expecting much.
Man,
You have to not expect much. Like if you went to see 18, we didn't expect much of 18, and we had a blast in 18.
right. And
So-
also, if you watch Armageddon, here's my thing. I'm gonna turn this around the other way. If you enjoy Pacific Rim and you don't like Armageddon, I got issues with that. That's all I have to
Because
say.
I told you, people have an issue with the animal crackers in the belly button.
Actually,
that was a little silly.
when I had said that,
Animal crackers,
when I said that
belly button,
last night,
belly button.
one of the things that some people said they would have rather hang out with the crew from Armageddon than the folks
From Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. Which,
Well, yeah, I would have too, because they all had stick ups their butt. But but yeah, so see, we didn't even spoil anything. Bam, we are non.
so what did you think of the movie, Paul?
I really liked it, but I will say that it didn't. Based on what I saw in the trailer and what my expectations were, it did not exceed my expectations at all.
Okay.
It is what it is. Now, I'm a huge Godzilla fan,
Okay.
and I think my one disappointment, and this is just a minor quibble, I still would recommend this to anybody who likes big summer action movies.
Mm-hmm.
My one quibble is that because they're kind of selling this as a robots versus Godzilla kind of thing. In Godzilla movies and Gamera movies and the Japanese kaiju film genre, the monsters have much more personality
Yeah.
than these monsters did.
Yes, they
Yeah.
didn't have. They were very drone mentality.
They were, and
Yeah.
I mean, so basically what we have for this film is it's sort of like the next step of a movie like Cloverfield and a movie like Real Steel mashed together.
Real Steel was good in that kind of way too. Okay,
Real-
it wasn't
I
as
think-
good. No,
Well, I mean,
but
if you like Real
okay.
Steel, you can
It's
say
okay.
you can say that.
it's okay.
But for me, Real Steel was like a robot version of Over the Top for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah, I know.
and here's my thing. The reason I didn't like Real Steel was that it was too freaking long.
It was a little long.
They could have cut
It was a
if
little
they had
long.
cut like 30 minutes of it.
And-
I would have been fine.
And see, Paul, with Pacific Rim, I wasn't expecting a lot at all.
Right.
I was very meh about it. So I think how you interpret the trailer kind of affects on how you view the movie, the overall
Right.
success of the movie. Because I was like, this is going to be horrible.
I
But it was
will say that I was very pleased that Hong Kong got a little bit of love in the film.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
I there's a certain character, again, I don't want to spoil this because I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but there's a certain character played by an actor who I really love The character's name is Hannibal Chow. And I
Yes.
want to go find him if
Yes.
he's in Hong Kong. I want to find his shop
Yes.
because that was awesome.
This is
Now,
true.
now, were they were they pilots?
Who?
This the one you're talking about?
No. The guy's name in the movie was Hannibal Chow.
Oh, oh, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that right there
Was
for
a
me
surprise.
was a surprise for me.
So that was
that's
nice.
why I don't want to spoil it.
You
Was
are
because
you are so good at not spoiling. Well, of course you get a movie podcast. Of course you're good at not
But
spoiling.
the reason I was really surprised was that because I didn't do any reading. All I saw was the trailer that came out for Pacific Rim
Mm-hmm.
when Superman came out. Because you remember that week when all those trailers came out at the same time.
Right.
There was a Man of Steel, Pacific Rim,
Mm-hmm.
and some other movies.
Yep.
And out of all those, Man of Steel was the one that stood out the most to me.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim
It was on the
it
bottom.
was on the bottom because of that whole.
For
Well, no, the whole stepping thing. You know, the whole synchronized stepping they had to do
what?
in the robot
Oh.
and the Jaegers
Oh yeah. I remember
because
that.
they do the drift thing and they sync up and
Right.
they do all the motions together. I thought because I didn't know
What it was.
where they were going, why they had to do that.
Uh huh.
I
You
thought
thought
it
it was
was like
weird.
synchronized robot fighting.
Sounds like a new Olympic sport. Synchronized robot fighting. But anyway,
Oh,
so yeah. So
I,
speaking in. Oh, go
I
on.
do want to throw out one last bit of advice for the film. If you haven't seen it, do stay past the initial credits because there is a post-credit scene about midway through the credits when sort of the
Right.
graphic credits end.
Yes.
Because I was there with my dad and a couple of his friends. We sort of made it a guy's day to go and watch the film, and they all bolted, and
No
so
one.
they missed that. And I came out of it. They were like waiting for me, like, why are you still in the theater? I was like, you guys missed it.
Why
This
do
is
people
great
leave?
final scene. So be sure you stay for that.
Why do
Yep.
people leave? Don't leave
Yep.
anymore, people. We know this. All right. So in the trailers were great. Actually, I liked a lot of the trailers. That was
So are
geeking
we
out.
done spoiling?
Yes, yes. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. The Ender's Game trailer, I was excited about. I'd already seen it, but I love Ender's Game,
Right.
and there was another fantasy one in there,
Seventh
and
Son,
Seventh Son,
which I
and
did not know that was a Orson Card Scott book.
right. I think I heard of it, but I haven't read it. And the like Ip Man origin movie,
The
The
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster. How pumped am I? I don't think it's by the same dude, but
Yeah, I
have
think
you seen?
it is.
Is it by the same dude? I didn't
Is
know.
it by the same dude, Paul?
Um,
The same guy that did Ip Man?
nope,
Okay.
Oh, it's
different
not.
director.
I thought it was different, but
Well, I know it's a different
I'm very, very
character.
excited about it because, I mean,
Whoops.
I love that kind of movie. It's just freaking I get lost in the fighting in those movies. So I'm
Hmm.
just like, oh, it's gonna be so good.
Now, and you already said that this movie is already out in
Yes.
China.
Oh,
It came out was released in festival play I want to say in Cannes earlier this year, and then it got play in Hong Kong in February, and we've already actually gotten DVD Blu-ray release for it.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
wow.
I may have to.
Yeah, but then I have to read.
I think we have to read in the studio. I think we're gonna have to read in.
Do you think we have to read? I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna have to read.
Mm.
I don't think, because I ain't trying to read in the
Well,
movie
it says it's coming in theaters August 23rd.
So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
And then Jay watched the old movie that we can spoil because this movie is fracking old. It's older than some of the people that are listening.
Yeah, we watched Animal House. Have you seen Animal House, Paul?
Oh yes, many times.
I've never seen it.
So my boss got me Animal House. I think like 2, maybe 3 Christmases ago.
Oh, was it that long ago?
And that because he gave everybody a movie and a gift card for Christmas. So Animal House was the one he chose for me. Yeah, this was my first time actually thinking that, yeah, this is my first time watching because of the amount of boobs that were in the show. This was definitely my first time.
There were a lot of boobs.
Because as a kid, I would remember if I saw boobs. So,
Well, yeah, there were. Can you imagine like some little 13-year-old boy watching that?
yeah,
would've been-
it's not good stuff.
Well, it probably would have been good stuff for the 13-year-old boy, but maybe not if you're the dad of the 13-year-old boy.
Right, right.
But yeah, I mean, it was funny. I guess in its own way. It had that early 1980 humor.
And Renee
So
and Renee found some trivia with the whole shout song. For some odd reason, Renee thought the shout song was created during Animal House.
well, that's because I read it wrong.
Right.
But but it's not like something I thought before. But like, oh no, I read the freaking trivia wrong when I was reading Wikipedia or what have you.
Right.
So that's not, said that a little incorrectly. I did not think that. I read
Right.
that incorrectly.
Okay. Okay.
Hando was 12 when he saw this movie. Hando. I should ground you. I almost said ground you posthumously, but that's like after death. I should ground you belatedly, because that is not for you, young man. You go to your room right now with no dessert.
Right.
So yeah, watch Animal House. It was. How do you rate it? Since we didn't. Oh, J.K. was 6.
Um.
I didn't want to go there.
His dad probably said, "Cover your eyes, son."
Cover your ass, son.
That's how it was in my house. Cover your eyes.
That's how it
son.
was when I watched Coming to America. We had to cover our eyes and ears at the boob bath scene.
The royal penis is clean, sir.
Yeah, I was 6 when it came out.
And then how do I rate it? I mean, it's a classic movie. I mean, it's a classic cult movie. I mean, it wasn't bad.
No, put it against how you thought it was.
It was
Not
too long.
against. It was too long.
It was too
Out
long.
of 5 stars, I give it a 3.
Yeah, I
Send
can
all
see.
your hate mail to me. Animal House, 3 out of 5.
Right.
Ring it.
Right.
So, I just want to run through some other things. We saw a new show, Netflix original show called Orange is the New Black.
Yep. Saw the premiere of
It's
that.
not bad. Boobs, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not for kids.
Right.
So not too bad. It's about a woman who goes to jail.
Right.
She's very preppy looking. Goes to
Yep.
jail. So yeah,
She has high tits.
she has high tits. That's what. This is what in the first 5 minutes of the show you learn she has high
It's
tits.
3 minutes.
First 3 minutes of the show you learn she has. High
It was
tits.
it was crazy. It was like boobs within the first 3 minutes. It was like
It was
oh.
boobs in like the first like
Yeah, it
freaking
was.
like
I was
a
like,
minute.
okay.
In the first minute there was boobs.
I wasn't expecting that.
And you all can hate all you want, but I've been watching a ton of Jersey Shore. That is one of my guilty pleasures. Hate on me now. I like it because
Yeah.
they're like cartoon characters. I'm at the point where Snooki is pregnant. I was waiting to get here because I knew she was pregnant. But weirdly, now that she's pregnant, she's like the most sane person in the entire show. It's really odd because it was not like that before. But yeah, so I'm still enjoying it. On season 6, this is the last season, and then the new season comes on this fall. So I'm all caught up.
Are you going to DVR it?
Yes. Don't you laugh at me, young man. Unless we
So
cut
have
the
you
cord.
watched any Jersey Shore, Paul?
I can say honestly that I have never seen an episode.
And he sounds quite proud of that. He said,
No.
I can honestly say I have never.
How do you hear that from Paul? That's the same tone he had at the very beginning of the show.
I'm just saying I can
Because he
sense
didn't
it.
sound sad that.
I sense it. I know because
You know, I don't have anything against Jersey Shore per se. I mean, I was a big fan of The Real World back in the day.
Yeah, yeah,
I did like the real world.
yeah, and you're right. I mean, Jersey Shore. I was thinking about that a little bit. Jersey Shore is no different than Real World, and people are like, "Well, Real World's trash TV also."
Jersey Shore is a little bit more crazy, like nuttier.
Well, but that's because of the time that we're in now. There's a lot of things that are a lot more acceptable
yeah,
now.
the more extreme they go to.
Then if you look at Real World, as it kept going along and along, it would
People got a
get
little nutty.
more.
Yeah.
You know.
So ready. So I hope everybody's wallets are open.
Yep.
We are smack dab in the middle of a Steam sale.
Because Steam Summer Sale is going on
When does it end? I don't even know when it
the
ends.
22nd.
So we have a long time before it's over.
Yep.
So make sure you save your money. Jay has some quick tips for those of you all who are interested in the Steam Summer Sale.
Oh, I don't have them in front of me.
Well, I can remember them.
Okay.
1, only buy a game during the Steam Summer Sale if it's one of the daily deals,
Daily deals.
flash sales,
Mhm.
or community picks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. And
then on the last day of the sale, they usually have the stuff that wasn't on sale, or they have it on
Right.
again for less. So just be picky
So
on
here's
what
my
you
thing.
buy.
Some people are saying There was one where it was Dishonored, Borderlands, and Far Cry 3
For the community
for
pick.
community pick.
Hmm.
Borderlands got picked. Dishonored didn't, nor did um, Far Cry 3.
Right.
Now, Far Cry 3 is the daily. I'm not Far Cry 3, but Dishonored is the daily deal now. And I feel like I wish I'd taken a screenshot, but I think Dishonored is cheaper now than what it was prior to this.
It might
And
be.
because some people were telling me if they just show it on sale in the flash sale, buy it then. But I could have sworn that Dishonored was a little bit more expensive, like
Now,
$14.99.
maybe.
But right now,
They have some really good deals out.
Dishonored is $10.19 right now.
Deus Ex Human Revolution is $3.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could pick up some good games if you were interested.
Yeah.
I know Tomb Raider, the new one was 12.49
Yep.
yesterday.
Thirteen
So
forty nine, something like
12.49.
Do you do Steam, Paul?
I've done it on occasion. Unfortunately, I don't have a really good PC for gaming anymore right now. I've just got Steam for my Mac,
Right.
and the game selection is nowhere near the same.
Have you played Little Inferno?
I have not, no.
I wonder if it works on Mac. If it does, let me know. I have an extra copy I can gift you. It's just a little fun game. It's not like a hardcore.
No, no, no. It's just a
Spend a lot of
little
time. It's one.
cute little time waster type game.
Right, right. Um, so Steam sale. You still playing WoW?
I've actually suspended my account for the month since I'm traveling and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not able to play, but
That's
I'm,
a
I'm
great
probably going to go
idea.
back
I
Okay.
should have done that.
later in the year. But I've got so much stuff to play because, with the baby, I've had almost no time for gaming. So I've got Nino Kuni still unopened.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
I haven't
I've
finished
got
it.
I bought Defiance because I love the TV show and I wanted to play the game. That's still
Oh,
unopened.
did you get it with the Steam sale?
No, I got the collector's edition
Oh
Okay.
wow,
for the
nice.
PS3. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
so
you're gonna
I've
play
got
it
a
on
bunch of
PS? Okay.
stuff, that I have yet to get to, and there's always other stuff coming out that I want to play. It's just no time.
Totally get it. But so yeah, so we've also been hardcore playing Animal Crossing, but that's starting to wane a little bit, which is fine,
Yep.
because what we're probably gonna do is uh, play. We're gonna skip days instead of playing every day in Animal Crossing, which I think it's fine if you play it that way because it's not a horrible way to do it. Because if you play every day for 2.5, 3 hours, it gets a little much.
Right.
So. But we're still playing, so if y'all want to be our friends on our DS, let us know. They actually put out a new interface for the Street Pass.
Mm-hmm.
They have little games you can play. Like if you pass somebody who has a DS on wireless, they talk to each other, and then you see their me on there, and then you can use it to play little mini games. It's kind of cool actually. But
Yeah.
so they have new ones you can buy for $5. And I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Crazy folks. So sorry if you want to buy it, that's fine, but I ain't doing it. And Jay's been playing a ton of projects.
On
X
Project,
Zone.
yeah, Cross Zone or X Zone. I'm not sure what they're calling it, but it's a tactical RPG that I'm really enjoying a whole lot. So I've been playing that. I like it because they have the subtitles, but they speak in Japanese and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. I played about 4 chapters on Friday night, so I'm really enjoying that story, enjoying that whole fighting system and stuff like that. So, for you, Paul, with portable gaming, is it mainly your iPad and phone?
Yeah, mostly. I have an NDS that I haven't touched in a long time. I've looked at the 3DS. I was thinking about getting one for my mom because she's much more of a gamer than I am these days.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3D the 3DS is really nice. I was actually shocked at how much I'm really enjoying the actual device.
Me
It
too.
almost makes me wish that Nintendo, even though I wish they would focus hugely on the 3DS and DS, you know. But there are people that wants the consoles and stuff like that. So, and then also Back in 2011,
Here we go.
February 2011,
Oh my God, you
I
found
told you all about a book that I was reading, and this book was called Machine of Death, and this was actually, you know what, fair, being in all fairness, this was probably like less than a month of us doing a podcast. This is
right.
February 20th. I started reading a book called Machine of
It
Death.
was over 2 years ago.
Right. And I said it was real good compilation of short stories that revolve around people that know what their cause of death is going to be, but do not know when or how it will happen. And I told folks, I said, you should check it out. It's creepy and causes you to laugh.
You did.
I did, and I shared this story with Renee. I planted the seed a long time ago.
You did.
And this week, what happened, babe?
I said, hey, babe, they had this book on the Humble Bundle sale called Machine of Death. You should. It's such a good. And then you gave me a
I
look.
didn't say a word.
You gave no. You
Bec-
gave me the death look. That looks at Renee. I told you about this, and I was like, oh, you told me about this, didn't you? When you're married to somebody for a while, you start learning their looks and exactly what they mean. And you're like, Renee, don't start. This is one of those that I told you about. Don't you even? Is
because
what I read in that
because I
look.
almost said I went, that I didn't say anything, and then my face just contoured to that look.
I was like, oh. So Jay already told me about this 2 years ago. Granted, come on, I can barely remember what I had to eat
What'd you have to
last
eat
night.
today? What'd you have last night?
Uh,
Play it up.
Pizza and salad. I made
Yep.
salad.
Yep. Made salad. What'd you have to
That's
eat last
sweet.
night, Paul? Uh-oh.
Paul?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm trying to remember.
I was like, I didn't hear the sound.
I had a buffalo chicken Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Oh,
Ooh.
see, he's in America. American food, America.
So when you go back to China, back to Hong Kong, what's the one thing you're looking forward to when you get back?
Um,
Besides your home and being able to walk around in your underwear.
yeah,
That is the good
definitely
thing.
looking forward to that. Um, my wife's a great cook, and when we're on the road, when we travel, she doesn't do a lot of cooking. So when we get back, I look forward to the dishes that she makes.
Oh, so
Right.
that's such a good husband answer.
Yep.
That was so nice.
And I'm still kind of sad a little bit we didn't get to meet your wife. I'm like, oh.
I know, but
Yeah.
maybe next Nerdtacular
Or
or the
Yes, we're
Nerdtac.
hoping.
are we getting our
Yay!
passport? We're thinking about getting our passports. Maybe we could fly to China.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause-
yeah. We're still gonna be able to fly to China.
Yep.
Yep, and right
Come on
after
over.
I win the lottery.
Come on over.
Yeah, I would like to. All right.
Um.
Speaking of food,
Yep. Speaking of food, I got to play the bumper.
The fridge is not prepared.
I'm so all over the bumper situation. I should be charged the soundboard
You
tonight.
should. I should let you sit here and do this one day. You know
So,
what?
what?
We're gonna do that one day.
No, then you'll
What do
just
you?
talk bad
What does
about
the?
me.
What do you, Paul, and the chat room think of Renee running the soundboard and all the technical stuff right before for one show? I think she can do it.
Are you gonna do show
Yeah.
notes if I do that?
Yeah, I do show notes.
No, because you're gonna forget things.
So, why? Because you forget things.
I never forget anything off the show. What are
Right.
you talking about?
Right.
So speaking of food, this is week 54
Oh, this is
of
54. Wow. I
our
thought it
weight
was
loss
53.
journey.
Yep.
It's 54. Yeah, it was 53 last week.
Yeah.
So Jay has lost a total.
Uh,
Dude, this is big, y'all. This is big. 3.6 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Pop your collar, Jay. Woo!
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. That is
uh.
awesome. Especially
So
since, I ate crazy this week. So
I kind of did too. I ain't gonna lie, cause you know what we, you know what we did on Friday, Paul. We went to Little Caesars and got that deep dish pizza.
yeah, we did. And we got crazy bread. And Jay got wings.
I did.
And he still lost 3.6 pounds.
I had
Hate
not.
him.
I had not had. Well, actually, I had a little bit at Nerdtacular
What pizza?
pizza,
Yeah,
but that deep dish pizza from Little Caesars,
it's alright. It's alright.
it was good.
It's alright. So Jay has lost a total of 104.8 pounds total.
Ugh,
104.
104.8.
That's crazy.
And
So I when I hit my goal weight, I kind of stopped logging my weight
right.
because I knew it would go up and down,
Hmm.
and putting it up and down is kind of weird because I don't want to
Because
attribute that
right,
to
right,
our
right,
total
right,
because I've reached my weight, so I'm gonna go up and down. But
right.
I'm lower than I was when I stopped logging, so I figure if I go lower, then I'll say it then, because then it'll be attributed. How's that?
Okay.
If that kind of makes sense. So I've been lower than this, but I'm gonna say where I am now. From the time I stopped logging, I've lost 3 pounds since then.
Okay.
Gained and lost a whole bunch, but I'm at 3 pounds from where I was. So 88.6.
Which I knew this the whole time.
Yeah, I mean I knew you knew. It wasn't like you.
Renee was worried that people would be like, "You need to quit
Yeah,
losing.
because people were like, you need to stop. Are you still? I'm like, look,
Leave
I'm
me
not still
alone."
losing weight. I've stopped losing weight, and it sounds weird for me to be annoyed by that a little
It's
bit.
annoying a little bit.
Because everybody's like,
So here's
Steve, why are you still losing? I'm
so
like, I'm not.
so here's what happened, Paul. So, so Renee was losing weight, and then some people felt like she was getting too skinny, and so Renee said, "Okay, I'm changing my goal weight," and she changed her goal weight, and she hit the goal weight, right? And then once she hit that weight, she secretly,
I don't know if it was secretly.
she well,
What's
in
a
her mind,
secret?
she kept losing weight, but she wasn't logging them because she was tired of people saying something.
Yeah, I didn't want people to think I was like, I don't know. It just kept. It felt like people were like, stop. You're. It sounded like they
They
thought I
felt
had an eating
guilty.
disorder or something.
Oh,
I'm like, just because it's like I'm not that like I can see myself like Jay and I can see myself more than anybody else can because they see me with no because Jay and I can see me with no clothes on. So I know when I'm too skinny, and Jay would tell me if I was too skinny.
unless unless you just happen to be in my neighborhood one one night.
When your neighborhood.
Yeah, you remember when you took the dogs out one time and you wasn't thinking?
Yeah, I didn't have any clothes on.
I was like, "What are you doing?"
I think
You
I had
had
underwear on.
you had underwear on, but you
Yeah,
didn't have.
but I was taking the dogs out in the back. Granted, no one can see us, so it's not like somebody was right there and could see me. We live in the back of easement. Nobody can see us. So unless Al was right there at his backyard,
A
then
nosy
he can see
neighbor
me. And it was late
happened,
at night.
happened to look out the window.
Google Maps.
I know, right?
So yes, I was naked outside taking the dogs out. So yeah. But anyway, so that is a total 6.6 for both for the week,
Yep,
and a grand total of 193.4 pounds for the Valentines.
yep,
So close to 200.
yep.
So close.
And then our first week of the Frog Pants Nerdtacular 14 challenge, our group.
Yay!
Right now we have 77 people in there, and for those 77 people, the total weight loss is 89.9 pounds
Mhm.
for a total for an average of 1.17 pounds per person.
And I love it because that number just gonna go up and up and up and up. Like
Yep.
it got to up to 13.1 pounds per person in the
Right.
last challenge. So I'm excited to see it go up.
And I got permission from the head frog himself, Mr. Scott Johnson, to create this book, to create a group on Facebook. Um, so we have a Frog Pants Lose It group on Facebook now.
Mhm.
So kind of going to have the information there for folks and stuff like that. So just kind of give people different avenues.
Right.
I think
To find stuff.
I
Right.
think there's a lot of attention that is getting. I figured it was something that we probably should um,
Right.
set up and do.
All right. And I was telling Jay like there are people who knew about the group but didn't join last year but joined this year, and
Hmm.
that just like hey, when you're ready, you're ready.
Right.
So if you aren't ready to join this year, guess what? We're gonna do it again next year. So do it when you're ready, or else it's not gonna mean anything to you. It's a very very personal thing to do. Decide to get healthy.
Right.
So do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. I mean, you can if you want, but I think it's more meaningful when you do it for you. And I did try a new recipe this week. It was a quick little thing. It was just basically was a fiesta chicken salad, just like Mexican chicken salad kind of thing. It had black beans and corn and salsa and fajita chicken over salad, and it was good.
Yep.
This is a good little quick meal, I guess.
Right.
It's not anything fancy
It wasn't.
or difficult, but actually wanted that. So it was a good, healthy thing for us to have. So it turned out okay.
Yep.
But we're going to try something not so healthy. I'm pretty sure this is not healthy for
And
us.
I'm sorry, Paul, that we couldn't send you any of this to try out.
Yeah. Yeah. We
It's
could
not a
have.
problem, guys. Let me tell you,
We are
I've been
trying.
making a food hound of myself on this vacation,
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm gonna have a lot to lose when I get back.
Well, you
So,
know, man. I mean, you're back here in the states for a little bit. I mean, you gotta treat yourself.
Yeah,
Joseph.
Treat yourself.
that's how I justify it to myself.
Exactly.
I
You're
mean,
on vacation.
when I went to Nerdtacular, man, I mean, I wasn't. I didn't go butt crazy,
No,
but
we
I treated
didn't.
myself. Like Wednesday, when we were sitting with Mr. and Mrs. Strumpet,
We treated ourselves.
and I hadn't had drinks in a long time.
But you had a drink.
I had
I
a
had
few drinks.
I also had 2 drinks. So we're trying out popcorn sent to us by Mr. Punk Gopher.
Yep.
This is banana coconut cream pie popcorn. This is one in a series of popcorns that he has given us.
Mm-hmm.
They've all been sweet, I think, right?
Right.
So this one's banana coconut cream. Let me give you some
Oh,
more.
Renee got a big
No,
handful.
this is for you. I was actually making sure I got some white, which is the cream,
Okay.
and then the here. Do you want 2 pieces? You get 4 pieces. Here, you
I'll
get 4
take
pieces.
whatever you give me.
You get 4 pieces. There you go.
All right.
So
So this is
white and yellow
banana cream.
coconut cream pie. So
Hmm.
I was never. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of banana coconut cream pie or not. I never really had it.
Right.
I like banana pudding. So
You know what? This isn't too bad.
all right, I'll try it out.
Huh.
Hold on.
Sticky. It's really not bad. I'm usually not a big fan of candy banana stuff. It actually is not pretty bad.
It's
You know what?
actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
It's almost to the point where I'm gonna say it's good.
How much of it could you eat?
Huh?
How much of it could you eat?
Oh, not a lot. I mean, it's almost like candy. So,
Yeah, I guess so. So this isn't as bad, but it's so weird. I think I like fresh sweet popcorn. Is the thing. I like
Ah.
sweet popcorn, but I think it has to be fresh.
Oh, okay.
But so thank you, Punk Gopher.
Yeah,
We have
thank
about
you.
3 more of those to go.
And we still have some. Have we tried everything from Australia?
We have 1 piece of candy left
Okay.
to try.
Because Sammy ate one.
Snow. We have lots of the little candies. Just 1 type to try left.
Sandy ate them.
Sammy did eat one of the pieces of candy,
Mhm.
but he didn't die, so that's all good.
For him.
So yeah. So we want to give you some little odds and ends from Johnny Feisty.
Odds and ends.
I give up. I give up.
And the thing is, you usually don't do the segue stuff.
I know, but you're pretty lax today.
You know what? I'm chill.
You're really lax with the segue stuff when you're usually on it. So I'm thinking that maybe you aren't. I don't know what.
Because
what it is.
honestly, I'm paying attention to the chat room more than I usually do.
Oh, well, that's why I'm on the segue then, and that's good. So we have some birthdays, and you didn't check your birthdays, so I might have missed something. But
What? You can go ahead and go with the ones we have.
I'll go with the ones we have, and
We
then
have
you.
plenty.
Okay. So tomorrow, Tuesday, it is Sales Geek David Michaels'
That
birthday.
is right. Happy birthday,
Happy
David.
birthday! He's one of Scott's right hand men.
He is the head geek of sales geekery.
He's hailed geek of Sales Geekery.
And
He
he's
is
also, he does a lot of work with Frog Pants and other podcasts.
very nice guy.
Very, very,
Nice guy.
It's awesome.
And Mr. Frog Pants himself, Scott Blaine Johnson's birthday is Wednesday.
And also on Wednesday is Kathy Warner's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kathy.
Yep, happy birthday,
She's
you
not
all.
my friend on Facebook.
And then on Friday, Laura McTyler. I know she's from Virginia. I can't remember the name she went by.
She's
but
not my friend. She doesn't like me
yeah,
either.
so happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday.
You remember, if you see her her.
Yeah, I would know her.
If you see her tattoo, you would know her.
Her tattoo.
Yeah, because that was one of her Facebook pictures.
So there are 3 birthdays that are in my family.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
Saturday, 2 birthdays. Danielle and Kimberly, my sisters. Their birthday is Saturday. Happy birthday
Happy
to the
birthday,
twins.
Danielle and Kimberly.
Oh, they're so old. And then the day after that on Sunday is my older sister's birthday, Deidre.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the left out sister.
Why?
My birthday's in March, and
It's an
everybody else's
awesome
birthday's in
birthday
July.
though. It's the Ides of March.
Do you see how left out I am, Paul? I'm the black sheep of my family. I'm the only kid whose birthday is not in July.
You get your own month.
Well, yeah, it's kind of bad news because both my wife and my daughter are July babies too.
Oh wow.
Are they really, really close to each other?
Wife is actually just this past Friday on the 12th. My
Oh.
daughter's at the end of the month on the 27th.
Well,
say-
happy birthday, early
Fox.
and late.
Yeah.
Miss Fox.
And
Miss
Baby
Foxy
Fox.
Fox. Is that weird for me to
Te-
say Foxy Fox?
You
Probably.
can say that.
Okay. Happy birthday, Miss
So
Foxy
tell them we say happy birthday. And also, Mike Andrews, his wife's birthday is on Wednesday.
Woo!
So tell Mrs.
So many great
Andrews,
birthdays.
happy birthday.
And take her out and treat her right.
Yep. Cook us something.
Treat her right.
Cook us something.
Oh,
Cook us something
oh,
good.
oh, oh.
Actually, I think he's cooking hamburgers. Is that who you cooking hamburgers and hot dogs for this week? Because
That's why you wanted hamburgers and hot dogs.
that is why I was wanting hamburgers and hot dogs, because I couldn't go to Mr.
Oh.
Mike's house to partake in this barbecue feast. So I was like, I'm gonna have to go cook some. But we were running late for work, so
It's my fault.
we weren't
Horrible
able,
Monday.
we weren't
Oh.
able to do that. So Paul, do you have anything for these fine folks as we wrap up the show?
No, I don't think so. I just want to say it's been a pleasure being with you guys again the second time. Do I get like a 2-timer T-shirt or something? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go to /loot.com and
And we'll get your t-shirt.
we'll get your T-shirt.
That would be a great idea. Give
Two-timer.
people t-shirts
That would be.
if they are guests on our show. Not necessarily 2 times. Just t-shirts.
Oh, you know
I
what?
know that SNL did that whole thing with Justin Timberlake where they made a skit of it because he was on for like 5 times or something.
Oh wow.
Well, he's a pretty cool guy. I mean, he dressed up in a freaking leotard and did single ladies. I mean,
You know-
I can argue with that.
And I have to say this because on Thursday when you checked, you did a pre-registration right on Thursday for Nerdtacular. Yeah, you were standing in line. It was a
Yeah. That's right. That's when I saw you guys.
Apparently, yes,
There was- there was-
So there was a young lady that came up to you and said, "Ooh, you look like Mr. Bates."
You do, though.
So do you remember this?
I do not.
You do look Mr. Bates a little bit. You do like a
You know,
young Mr. Bates a little bit.
Well, did you ever meet OMF's wife, Karen?
Yes, yeah, we met briefly in 2011 and again at 2000.
Okay,
This
so
year.
in her mind, she felt like you look like Mr. Bates from Downton Abbey.
You do slightly.
So Mr. Bates.
I'm not caught up on that show, unfortunately.
Well, I like Mr. Bates. Mr. Bates.
I like
prepared-
Mr. Bates. You look like a very young Mr. Bates.
I think he looks more handsome than Mr. Bates.
That's what. Okay. Yes.
You just said young. You didn't say he looked more handsome than Mr. Bates. See, you see how it goes, Paul? I'm looking out for you.
Okay.
So how can folks get a hold of you?
Well, you can just follow along with my Twitter, although I don't tweet that much these days. It's Foxlore, twitter.com/Foxlore. And if you're interested in whatever I start to do in the future, in the sort of the post-East Screen, West Screen verse, you can head over to my website, kongcast.com, although I'm not expecting to have any new content up until towards the end of the summer.
Cool. If you want to reach Renee or I at the show by email, you can do so at thevalentinecast@gmail.com. You can see our blog at valentinecast.com. The podcast Twitter feed, ValentineCast. The Facebook page is facebook.com/ValentineCast. And if they want to call us, where can they call us, babe?
You can call us at 415-75-VCAST. That's 415-758-2278. And if you want to see video of our past podcasts, you can see us at youtube.com/ValentineCast. Jay's Twitter feed is The Cowboy. That's TheCaoboi. And my Twitter feed is The Ice Flow.
Thank you, chat room, for being here,
Y'all were
hanging with us tonight.
amazing.
Um,
Amazing.
um,
Amazing.
Thank you again, Paul, for real, for sitting in on this show,
No, really,
taking
really appreciate it.
taking a little time out of your schedule, visiting the family, and sitting down and talking with us.
Well, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. It's always a pleasure. And, I'm not just a guest, I'm also a fan.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm crying on the inside.
and not only is he a fan, you're a friend, man.
Aw,
Now I am
crying.
crying on the inside.
Yes.
Crying on
But
the
nah,
inside
no,
is
seriously,
great.
we consider you a friend, big time,
I hydrate you when you cry on the inside.
but it hydrates you. All right, well, you all be safe. Have a good week. Don't be a dick, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody. Time to go some watermelon.
So racist.
Racist. But I am serious though. I'm going some watermelon.
Hey, chat room.
Hi, chat room.
Thank you all for hanging out with us
Thanks. You
so
all were
much.
great.
Y'all,
Thanks.
you guys and gals were awesome.
Oh.
I'm about to buy Dishonored, I think,
Of course you
for
are.
$10.
Of course
I
you
think
are.
I am.
I'm not.
I may hold off
I'm not doing it.
because it's. You know what?
I'm not buying anything in Steam sell. F you, Steam.
You know what? I may hold off until Far Cry. I'm
I'm being
still.
very, very F you, Steam.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah, I
giving
think I'm gonna
in.
wait for Far Cry.
Don't you just do it because I'm doing it.
Nah, you my soundboard. All right, chat room. We're gonna bounce out of here. Get this show up and stuff. I gotta get up early in the morning. Now I want to spend a little quality time with Paul before we hang up.
Oh, you know what I thought you said? You spend quality time with me.
We're gonna have quality time after the show. After we hang up with
That
Paul.
was so funny. I was gonna say, oh, then I was like, oh, he said Paul. I was like, oh, not
That's what you get for
me.
calling me old woman.